Welcome to the stage of history. I am your illustrious host, Kevin Uncanny Anytime. It is on and popping, y'all. How is everyone doing this morning? Um, Before we begin, definitely make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you can get more notifications on when we go live and different updates. Like this video and share it if you think somebody would benefit from it. Um, we got a lot of changes in the works and a lot of updates and a lot of upgrades. So look out for that stuff, y'all. Stay tuned to us. All right, stay tuned to us because it's a lot that's about to happen in a very short period of time. But outside of that, let me go ahead and get you guys kicked off with what we are talking about today. Today's topic is what is your all? What is your all and how do you define it? We talk about that all the time. It's like, give it your all, give it your all, give it everything you got. I say that a lot too. And it's like, what does that even mean, man? What does that really mean? And we've probably talked about this a few times, but it's always good to refresh and keep figuring out what this is. The repeated reminders, repeated refines us, right? So we can keep this top of mind on our mindset, what our mind is set on, which is giving it everything we got every single day. That's going to help us to stay focused on what we are trying to do. And so what is that? What is that? Well, I really appreciated, I saw this one quote from Jim Quick. And Jim Quick is a legendary dude. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Um, he had a major traumatic brain thing happen to him when he was a kid, and he overcame that through his mindset. And so, what he said is, if you got 40%, give 40%. That's your all. And that's pretty much as basic as it is, y'all. Now, you have to personally define that because my 40% might look completely different from your 40%, right? And that is given the nature of whatever the context of what you're doing is, too. Me, hello. All right. 40%. My 40% is gonna look different. I hope y'all heard all of that. I don't even know if I was on for the most part, but what's popping? What's popping? Um, my 40% will look completely different from your 40%. So I always relate everything to basketball because I love playing basketball, right? So 40% for me, if I put it in a basketball term, is like, okay, I am not gonna jump for rebounds. I'm gonna shoot most of the time. I'm gonna be more offensive, right? I'm gonna shoot most of the time. I'm not gonna play as much defense. To me, that's my 40%. But to another individual, their 40% might be, I'm gonna hold really tight defense and I'm gonna shoot shots, but I'm not gonna run up and down the court as much. I'm gonna probably just find a little position on the court and just kind of stand there and wait for me to get the ball. You see what I'm saying? If you think about it in that way, there's a whole bunch of different aspects of how you can gauge what 40% is. And you really have to be honest with yourself when it comes to that particular situation. Don't say, hey, I'm giving it everything I got. And you know that there's actually more that you could be doing, right? And we all are subject to that, right? Everybody at some point is like, man, I think I'm giving it all I got, but then you think about it later on and you're like, oh, okay, well, I could have did this, I could have did this. So in the moment, in what you are doing, recognize, are you utilizing everything in your arsenal to try and reach the goal that you're trying to reach? That's something that you really, really, really have to contemplate before even getting into it. What is your all? What is everything you got? Right. And then once you realize what that is, you'll be able to dial back and see on days when you are off what your all is on those days. Because if you don't know what your 100% is, then that's something you need to figure out first before you even try and figure out what your what your off days may be, as far as giving it your all when you may be sick, or when a bunch of unforeseen occurrences happen, or um, when you just not feeling it, right? Or when you just are getting over your own emotions. Those things are absolutely necessary to pay attention to, because if you don't, you're not going to know what your all even is. And so that's something that you really, really, really want to pay attention to. And you really have to write down these things and figure this out. It's good to try and keep it in our mind and be like, oh, yeah, I know what my all is. But have you really defined it? Have you really written down everything that you could be doing in a day's time? Right? When you do that and you see everything that you actually can be done, not stuff that can be done, just as many tasks that need to be completed, but what can you actually accomplish in a day's time. And now that takes a lot of self awareness. You have to really pay attention to yourself. You have to know, okay, I can work an hour straight, no breaks. But then after that, my eyes, or I might get a headache, or I might get tired, and I have to take a break so I can recharge for a moment and then keep going. This is a very intricate, detailed process. It's not something that is just like, oh yeah, my all's like, yeah, I'm giving it everything I got. It's like, no, you have to really, really analyze yourself and what you do and what you're capable of. You're capable of a lot, but what do you have right now in this capacity, starting off, just attempting to assess what that even is. Once you do that, and don't judge yourself, don't beat yourself up, don't get crazy with it, but really, really assess, okay, l- let me go all the way in, let me focus completely on what I'm doing, and then let me see how much I can get done. Now, once you realize what that is, that's when you start to break down what your all is in different situations. Okay, if this happens, if this scenario happens, then I'll probably be able to do X and this. And then you'll really be able to see what your all is. And when you are able to identify that, you truly can feel more fulfilled in your day's activities, because you do actually know, you're not just throwing an idea out there, a concept or a theory of what your all is. You'll really be able to gauge, oh, I'm slacking or I'm not. Again, that's why I reference basketball so much, because it's very tangible as far as the things that you can do and what you are able to process in those time frames of, okay, these are all the tasks that I know I can do in a particular time period. There's shooting, there's rebounding, there's defense, there's blocking, there's um all different type of stuff. There's all different type of things, and that's the same thing you can do with your life. There's waking up, there's meditating if you meditate, there's journaling if you journal, there's um walking in front of the mirror, saying positive things to yourself, if that's something that you do. Then there's your work tasks that you have to get completed. There's the clean. There's so many different things that you can do, or that you can figure out. And so you need to figure that out. And when you figure that out, that's when you'll really be able to gauge, oh, okay, I'm slacking or I'm not slacking. Because if you're in this kind of you know, oh man, I'm slacking, but you really don't believe that, you're like, well, no, I kind of gave it everything I got. it leaves you in a state of being of confusion, and that's what they call that cognitive dissonance, is because it's not clearly defined. Hold on, let me set this down. It's not clearly defined, y'all, and you got to clearly define it, and that's what helps you to progress, is when things are clearly defined. And so that's what I'm working on, even with this business, is clearly defining what this is about. I was talking to my guy yesterday, and I'm like, what is it exactly, what is it specifically that we help you with in the institute? And my guy's been through the program a couple times, and I'm like, what tangibly did we gain from going through it? Because I went through it too. I go through the program consistently, and I'm like, what did we consistently gain from it? And it's gonna take some work for us to really identify that and really think about, okay, what is it? Like, what actually is it? Because there are there are obvious benefits, right? There's obvious benefits from our perspective because of how we feel, but we haven't clearly defined what specific benefits that they are. And that's going to help me to be able to articulate that better to you guys as well, which is something that I'm trying to do. I have, again, in the institute, we got meditation, right? I give you a bunch of different forms of meditation to help you to find one that you might like to stick with. Then I have the disciplined activities, which is, journaling, I am affirmations, saying positive things to people, things that, for who this resonates with, they will be like, oh yeah, that's stuff that I want to keep top of mind because I want to do that in my life, right? And then the third one is asking yourself questions constantly, fact finding questions of, okay, what is truth to me? What is love to me? And when you really start to define that, your awareness in that field expands. So I guess that's one thing I can say for sure, is I will help you to expand your awareness of yourself to a way greater degree. Because when you tune in and really understand, okay, I like this particular type of meditation, and you do that and you stick with it, and then you're like, okay, I'm being disciplined. I write down my I am affirmations. I'm saying my gratitude. I'm writing down my gratitude, and you consciously are effectively thinking these things and writing these things down. That's gonna All it's doing is putting more awareness on what you're doing every single day, right? You're checking in with yourself every single day. And when you do that, you become better because you're more self-aware. Being highly self-aware of things that you're doing in a day's time helps you to identify areas of opportunity. And that is a major key. That is a major key in life, y'all, to really be able to spot out areas of opportunity. And when there is different constructive criticisms and stuff like that, you can see, okay, is this something that is actually beneficial? Are they, or are they just saying something crazy because they got their own stuff they need to work on? You will be able to identify that much faster, simply because you're self-aware of the things that you are doing. So again, with this, am I giving it my all? Am I not giving it my all? Or I gave it everything I got, but then in the back of your mind, you're questioning it. That's the dissonance. That's the confusion. And when you do that, you never fully understand what's going on up here. You never fully understand what's going on up there, and you will feel like, well, man, was there something else I could have did, or and could I have done better? And well, I think so. And that's putting you in this limbo state of not knowing who you are and what you're really capable of and what you really can do. And that is not a good place to be in. It's not a good space to be in. You will start to feel these, and I know this because I've been here. You will have these feelings of inadequacy. You will have major doubts with stuff, and you still go over that as you grow. But it when it happens, when it's in a cloudy state of mind, a confused state, then you can't measure any progress or anything like that. So this is what I'm helping y'all to understand, okay? Is you need to identify truly and define what your all is. What is your 100%? What does that look like? When I get up in the morning, when I go to work, when I come home, the house duties, my work duties, my personal self-love duties to myself, you will really start to see if you're giving it everything you got or not. And that's super, super, super important, y'all. It's super, super, super important to understand. So that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about today. All right. I don't want to make these too long. This is something that I just want to put on your mind so that you can think about it throughout the day and really, really give yourself an opportunity to become better. All right. All right, y'all. So look. I'm gonna give y'all some major updates on Tuesday, so look out for the live next Tuesday, because I got a lot of stuff that I'm looking to do to upgrade this program, the everything, just everything as a whole. So look out for those updates on Tuesday. All right, so tune in next time, and remember, always, mindset matters more than anything else. Okay. So focus on the good, focus on the progression, focus on the possibilities, right? Don't beat yourself up so much about stuff that you're not completing. Just focus on, okay, I can do this. I can keep going. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. It's going to happen for me, right? Focus on the good, because the negative thoughts, all of that stuff is going to be there. It's going to come at you. It's going to hit you when you don't even want it to. Okay, so don't worry too much about it right now. Focus on the good so that you can get your brain working in the right direction. All right, and I'll see you guys next time. Anytime out.